Hi there guys and girls, and welcome to my next Mortal Kombat Conquest review, which is episode 21, Stolen Lies. This is actually a two-part episode, and it wraps up the Mortal Kombat Conquest TV show. So, basically, it starts off with different music, and then it intros like what looks like a hidden village or city, with these people going Shaka, 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 very cult-like, you know. And you get to see a bit of a brief sort of overview of it, and you know, you got the guy who's king of the place, you know, sort of thing, you know, his big skull behind him, looks very, you know, like Mortal Kombat Conquest does, looks very foreign. They're saying Shaka, Shaka, which sounds like Shaka Khan straight away, you know, and then basically we get a vision from Kung Lao. It's Khan plotting, saying all these things and getting a whole lot of different visions, and these visions are from, you know, the Mortal Kombat movies and stuff, and they've been color corrected and changed around. And then it turns out it's actually Kung Lao, and he's dreaming, he's having another vision. He hasn't had the vision since like the second episode. Rain said you only have these visions when you're afraid or you fear something, you know, and I think this episode has a whole lot of foreshadowing something real bad coming, and that's why he's having these visions. Then we see basically a ninja sneaking into the trading post, and she's stealing something, and Sira comes in and grabs her and catches her, you know, and he's about to beat the tar out of her, I guess. And then Taja comes in, and she happens to know this thief, who's another woman. They were besties, best friends, you know, and so, you know, Taja tells him to let her go, and yeah, they sort of want to catch up and that. So then we get, which is possibly the greatest scene, the Mortal Kombat TV show, where Raiden is at the bar. And it's so great because Raiden is such a great character already, and you've never seen him do something like go to a bar or something. But he's at the tavern, and he's drinking, and he's with this really hot, you know, woman, big boobs, blonde, kind of ditzy sort of woman, you know. And Kung Lao's like, Raiden, are you okay? You know, and I like to call this scene Horny Raiden, because Raiden says that I'm taking some time off for myself, you know, and he's drinking, he's got the woman by his side, he's had enough of defending the Earth Realm, fuck the Earth Realm, I'm gonna get laid, Raiden. So, you know, he kind of talks, you know, sends the woman away, and Raiden says some really great quotes here, you know. The pot is bubbling, which, you know, the whole Mortal Kombat Conquest TV series has built up, and things have just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. And I kind of like that line, because he said that, the pot is bubbling, like something bad is going to happen, you know. And then probably the greatest line ever about Shah Khan, he's a maniac when he's secure, you know. So when he's insecure, you know, look out, you know.
Nectar of the... Well, nectar of me.
I just love that story. Where are we supposed to be again?
I am Raiden, God of Thunder, protector of the Earth Realm.
Well, Raymond, you are the most adorable god I've ever met.
No, that's Raiden, with a D.
Raiden?
See, he knows me.
What are you doing?
I'm having a little drink with my new best friend here.
So I see, are you okay?
You mean, am I drunk? No, not yet, but I'm working on it. It's tough with my constitution, but it's not impossible.
But why?
The pot is bubbling, Kung Lao. Before it boils over, I thought I'd take a little time for myself.
What do you mean, boil over?
You know, the general state of things. Shao Kahn's wrath, possible full-scale destruction. You know, the basics. You haven't forgotten, have you?
No.
Neither have I. But I'd like to.
Would you mind leaving us for a moment?
You bet I would. You can do that?
Oh, yeah. It'll curl your hair, I guarantee it.
Oh, I can't wait. Wow.
Wow.
I'll be back.
What's going on, Raiden?
I told you. A little vacation. You cope your way, I'll cope mine.
What happened?
Shao Kahn's forces is taking a beating.
From Korea's army.
With Vorpak's commanding, she's become a better leader than her late queen. And what's left of the reptiles are following her, too.
You think Vorpax might actually defeat the Emperor's army?
I doubt it. Shao Kahn's forces are practically limitless.
So what's the problem?
Shao Kahn is surrounded by enemies. It's pushing him over the edge. He'll be more dangerous than ever now. He's a maniac when he's secure, but out of control. There's no limit to what he might do.
You mean?
He'll do anything. Kill anyone. Or everyone.
Then we get our first fight, which is Kung Lao and Siro are talking. Siro's training, and Kung Lao looks like he's off in a far place. And Siro's like, what's wrong? And he's like, oh, I met with Raiden. And he's like, well, that'd do it, you know. And then they get attacked by this ninja who jumps in and says, return what you stole! You know, we didn't steal anything. Then die with that lie. So that have the first fight, which is this ninja versus, Siro and Kung Lao. They win. Then we get more visions from Kung Lao. More of them. You know, so the visions are getting stronger about something bad happening. You know, and yeah, starting to get a lot more heavy and a lot more scary. Then it's revealed that Dion stole a dagger. Dion was the thief who broke in. Stole a dagger from some place. You know, when Kung Lao and Siro were attacked by the guy who said, return what you stole, they questioned her about it. She said, it's nothing to do with me. And then Taja sort of kept an eye on her, and she saw her pull this dagger out. She still got it, you know. So she knew that she stole a dagger, and they said that they're going to return it now. They're going to take it back. So Taja, Dion, Kung Lao, they're looking for the hidden city to return the dagger. They're walking around the woods. It's around here somewhere. It's kind of... Kung Lao even says that he's never seen it before, which is interesting. You'd think he'd know the whole area or something, but he says it must be in some sort of valley and he'd never been there or something. So they find the city, and just as they're about to walk in, this woman dressed in all purple, who kind of has claws like Wolverine, attacks them. And that we get our second fight of the TV show, which is, you know, Kung Lao, Siro, and Taja versus, I don't know, Catwoman. They call her Catwoman, you know, but she's like a purple ninja with claws. You know, they kind of get the upper hand in the fight, and she just disappears, and we never see her again. It's kind of a bit of it's kind of a fight that's thrown in there. It doesn't really have an end. It's not a main plot character, but we will find out, you know, more that this person was guarding this place, and they didn't want people coming in and out, and that's why people hadn't heard of it. So the good guys, they enter the city. And as they enter, the gap in the rocks, it fills in. So we know now that the good guys are trapped in this city. And that's also why probably people haven't been able to get in. Because it's probably never been a gap. They allowed them to come in. It's part of this trap. They allowed them to come in to the place. Then they return the dagger. And then as they return the dagger, the king guy, I don't know what his name is, the head guy of Shakana, the place, he says that, you know, there was a prophecy that the key will be stolen and will be returned, and welcome to Shakana, this is our place, you're our guests, have a look around sort of thing, you know. And he says that Shakana's coming tonight to their place, you know, and the good guys still haven't cottoned on that it's Shao Kahn, you know, and so they're looking around, and Dion and Taja are looking at, I don't know, clothing stuff. They find this cloth thing, And it's got like an image of Motaro on it. Or we know Motaro. You know, we don't see Motaro in the show. They mention him a few times via image and I think Raiden in the last episode said, "Oh, Motaro's people," you know. And this woman talks all about how Shikana came and had all these followers, and you can see like there's Rico on there. It's like a lizard, which is like reptiles people. There's like a skull, which is like the scorpion. You know, all these people are followers of Shao Kahn, but they call it Shaka still. Then in the next scene, Raiden gets laid. Best scene ever. He brings the chick back to the trading post, and there's no one there. He says there's a bunch of extra beds, you know, and then he brings her in there. These people love me, you know. It's so it's so refreshing. But you know, it's so good to see Raiden get laid. You know, because there are a lot of other people. Mostly the bad guys get laid on this show. You know, it's good to see Raiden get some. You know, because he deserves it. He's a god after all.
It was my sparkling personality. Kung Lao! Is this some sort of holiday I'm not aware of? Tasha! Oh, Ciro!
So is this where you live?
Oh, no, they're just friends of mine, but it's very comfortable. And there's a bunch of extra beds. Let's get some food.
Are you sure they won't mind?
No, not at all. They worship me. I'm like a father to them. And so should you.
Oh, Ray. My wonder god.
Kind of like that. Now you're to do exactly as I say.
Then we go back to our good guys in Shikana, and Kung Lao and Ciro are watching a bunch of kids fight in a circle. You know, and the kid wins, and he goes, "You're dead! Now give me your soul!" And that's when Kung Lao's like, "Oh my god, he's stealing souls, this kid." You know, he doesn't really do it. He says he's going to do it. But he starts to figure out things. And then he sees the image of Motaro on the piece of clothing, and he remembers seeing that in one of his visions from earlier. And then he realizes Shikana, it's Shao Kahn, stealing souls, Farland, Outworld, Shikana, Shao Kahn, you know. And he starts to realize, you know, the coming of the gods. He can't come, you know. There's rules in place. They can't do it, sort of thing, you know. But,
Oh no. What's wrong? Look at this image. 6 arms instead of 4. But it's the same.
Same as what?
Things I've seen in my dreams. It can't be.
Hey, Kung Lao, what are you talking about?
The skull on the warrior back at the trading post. Children pretending to steal souls. Farland. Outworld. Shaka. It's Shao Kahn.
What? That's absurd.
It can't be.
Everything points to it. Shao Kahn is their god.
Who's Shao Kahn? Somebody you never want to meet.
yeah, they've realized, and then they try and escape, but then they realize that they're trapped, that the way is blocked now. So then they go to look around, see what's going on. They go back to like the main area where the skull is, and everyone's there doing their like Shaka thing. They're cheering on, and then the guy puts the dagger in the skull, and it turns out it's a key. It opens a portal, and then these shadow priests show up and come through, and then Dion says, "Okay, I've done what you said. Now let me go." So she sort of set up Taj and Zero and that, and then she goes and speaks to Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn says, "You're lucky you knew him. You should be dead for stealing this portal key." So she didn't know anyone originally. She stole this key from this place. She found a way in, and made a deal with Shao Kahn to entrap the good guys, and get paid and that, and then Kahn says he wants more from her, and that'll cost you more, and all this stuff, but you will bow to me, so she bows to him and that, and then we go back to Shikana, and
They don't know any better.
I don't care.
the Shadow Priests have separated Kung Lao from Zero and Taja. Zero and Taja are in a cage, being held prisoner, and Kung Lao's been taken to some place where the Shadow Priests are concocting some sort of weird mix of green smoke and stuff. And then Kung Lao says, if you come to kill me, do it. You know, he's not afraid to die. You know, and he says, we have not come to kill you, we only want your pain. You know, and then he touches him and causes Kung Lao to feel all this pain, and that pain is then felt by Raiden at the trading post. And Raiden senses the pain from Kung Lao, and he's like, there's something wrong, you know. And this is probably the only time in the Mortal Kombat Conquest TV show where you see him teleport, you see him disappear. In all the other episodes, they go Raiden and he's gone, but you never actually see it. In this one, you see him disappear, which is kind of cool. They kind of showed that in the last episode, you know. And so Raiden knows something's going on. She's left the girl there. one night stand, and yeah, he's gone off to see what's going on. So then we go back to Shikana and the three Shadow Priesty guys. They then merge into one big giant like wrestler guy, and we get our third fight of the show, which is Kung Lao versus this wrestler guy. And this wrestler guy, Kung Lao's no match for him. He's so strong, he just picks him up, throws him around. Even Kung Lao does his trademark axe kick move, which in every episode finishes the fight and like knocks the person out. And it just like, you know, stuns this guy a bit. And then he just gets up. Kung Lao can't stop this guy. He can't win. And then the guy's actually about to kill Kung Lao with his sword, and then Raiden shows up and saves the day. He blasts the sword out of this guy's hand. You know, and then he shows up and says, and then he says, Shao Kahn's secret portal. I always knew he had one, you know, but he didn't know about it, which is funny because Raiden's all knowing, but he still didn't know about this place, you know. And then the good guys say, yeah, they got these guys guarding it and that, and then he says, I'll split the rocks. You go back. Go. You know, you can go now. Go. And he sends the good guys away. You know, and then he starts yelling at the people in Shikana, your God has abandoned you, and they're all just staying there. Then he has to do the whole show of power thing where he lets all the electricity out, and they start running and screaming and running away, and there's lightning bolts crashing down. It's kind of cool. And then Raiden approaches the portal, and he says, Shao Kahn! Shao Kahn! And then Kahn shows up and says, you will bow to me.
Your God has abandoned you. Leave. Shao Kahn! Shao Kahn!
You will bow to me.
And then we get the final part of this episode, the final scene, which is Kung Lao having his last set of visions. And they're very creepy. They're a bit longer. They're more of the same sort of thing, outlaw fighting and stuff like that. But it's a bit creepy because it ends with this like candle that he lit blowing out. And this is supposed to be like this really creepy, you know, this is supposed to be, you know, the bad thing is right about to happen. I think the candle blowing out, he lit a lot of candles in the first episode, and I think that's symbolic of those blowing out and realise something bad's about to really bad, so that's to happen, you know. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's it for this episode. Of Mortal Kombat Conquest. It's a good 2-part episode. The Shadow Priests were good in this, but like I said, in the last one, you could see their face and that. They had more personality in this. They were just more cloaked up and that. But it was an interesting storyline they were going with. And I will explain after I've reviewed the last episode. There's a few things I do know about Conquest that I want to talk about. But this was the first episode the first of the 2 that set up the final episode. You know what I mean? It was good to do it and not, you know, because Mortal Kombat Conquest always was guilty of we'll cram everything into one episode and that's it, and we'll never talk about it again. You know what I mean? Sometimes they'd reference other episodes, and that's where it fell short a bit. Whereas there was a storyline arc, you know, a very thin one. They could never keep a character, like a guest character, longer than one episode. Like he would be killed or something would happen and disappear, or they could never do that and keep characters over a few episodes, except for these last 2 episodes. They did that. You know, Dion got killed by the guy. You know, she doesn't come back in the next episode. But you know, a lot of these characters from this episode don't come back, but it is a 2-part episode that continues on. So it's quite interesting that way. So thanks for watching my review of Mortal Kombat Conquest episode 21, Stolen Lies. And I'll see you guys for the next one, which will be Mortal Kombat Conquest episode 22, the final one, Vengeance. See you guys then. Peace.